spoke about blue jeans earlier, and the holidays are coming up. A lot of buying during the holidays. Advertising really ramps up. But brand ads can strike a moment that means more than holiday merch rush. They can strike at cultural moments. My teams have made ads that did and did not quite resonate with the moment. Vibes is an interesting word in the world of marketing. Happy to dive into that another time. But having an idea of the news, social trends, attitudes across people, understanding what your many customers, your potential customers, might be thinking and feeling when they see an ad. That's really the key. And you can ask questions like, is anyone searching for your offering? How many people? And how? With what resource? And in what language? What language are people using to search for your service? You might look at Google Keyword Planner, Google Trends, YouTube search, Amazon search, just by typing into the search bars and seeing what kind of suggestions prompt on the platform, right? And you can see the language some people are using through these tools to look for things. When I worked in e-commerce back in the day, with lots and lots of products in one shop, we looked at language certainly from a world languages perspective, but it was more about how people are searching. It was amazing to see the number of ways people typed their questions into Google, their search queries, and this was all in English. So it was everyone looking for the same things, but describing them in totally different ways. And it can be helpful to understand that, to speak the language of people, not just the world language. Marketers ask questions like, what are people saying in the reviews after the last launch? How did they respond? What did they think? Not just about the marketing. How did you hear about us? Was everything clear, etc.? But the offering itself. Staying close to the offering, the product or service. Understanding its value and feedback are very important to marketing. For digital spaces especially, are reviews affecting any performance numbers? Good reviews. Algorithms love good reviews. Complex but ultimately driven by real people. Algorithms are driven by real behavior. Unless it's bots or spam. Another topic. Marketers never stop asking, about your audience to craft messages. Every campaign communication is a test. Messages are those critical, crucial words or ideas that you need your customers to understand so they can respond to your campaign. Some messages go viral, of course, viral, and some disappear quietly. Both can succeed if they reach the right people. Picture this. Your customer sees your message. What are they doing when they see it? Are they scrolling through email? Are they scrolling through TikTok? Are they listening to Spotify? What do you want them to feel in that moment? What do you want them to do? Marketers work in often small windows of time. A short message, a clear benefit, a little spark of emotion, sometimes a big spark, of course. These communications, these marketing campaigns, run from small to large, from a tiny, small email list to the big, massive ads landscape of Google, YouTube. Even with all those old tricks of advertising and marketing, every new campaign is effectively a test. So, as a marketer, you want to be someone who can look at the how of launching your campaign. How do we do it? And ask yourself again, do I have the right resources? Who should make the art? Do we have the right tools? Are the right partners or platforms in place? If I work with a team or collaborators, have I been tracking who needs to do what? Have I talked to them about these ideas or plans? personalities. Because marketing is listening as much as speaking. It is anticipating needs from those of your customers to teammates and collaborators, and caring about the checks and balances you can offer one another as well. You can care to check your own biases and the biases of others. For example, bias is huge in marketing. Another topic that we can talk about gently sometime. During a big holiday launch across many channels, many countries, we needed to justify the team's ideas to the executive decision makers. So we needed to show our customer knowledge, including some data from past tests, some competitor examples to set the landscape a bit, paint a picture. We had a budget ask, including some anticipated outcomes from a financial forecast. I had a lot of good resourcing for financial forecasting. All in a PowerPoint, all delivered to those decision makers with conviction, and caring about having that solid data, removing some of those bias points, providing some background and support, conviction. I especially like to have conviction that my campaigns are not just pleasing my boss, so they shouldn't just please you or your boss. You can agree on some baseline values, some rules in branding, also another video, but it's about caring that it speaks to the audience, it speaks to them. Conviction, care, observations, new asks, new pivots that come from leaders, that come from your own knowledge about changing cultural tides or user feedback, that come from your own desire to market on new channels, new platforms. Maybe you want to reach people on TikTok as well as YouTube, right? So you need to be light on your feet, flexible, and stay informed or stay on the edge of what's possible, what's emergent. A big topic is AI. AI. Artificial intelligence. A tough topic. A tough topic. Marketers started working with AI years ago. Machine learning algorithms in digital ads, especially, the machines have been learning. And now marketers are also using AI for things like research, formatting our documents, automation of tasks, mock-ups. I can talk about this another time if we like. Tough topic. Adapting is not easy. Change is constant, and tech is always changing. You have to make decisions about how much you will bend with it. And you can decide when you want to push back, when you want to opt out. The choice is yours. You can opt out of this video. Resilient marketers pick their battles. They choose. They look at what the team, business, and customers need. They are resourceful. They sift. They pick. I always want you to be able to pick, to have choice. Maybe your marketing campaign is local, in person, human only, no automation required. I would love to go to your event. Adaptability. Adaptability. We were launching an app and wanted to focus on launching in our biggest bet countries first after we soft launched. But leaders reappeared. We had to go global. The team was underprepared. We ended up going global, onboarding new resourcing with some overtime. We had the budgets, we got the resourcing, and going back to care plus adaptability. When we went global, we wanted to make sure that we had a cultural check on all the new regions, not just translate the ads and push them live. We had to check the creative strategy, ask people who really spoke those languages, lived in those regions, for their opinions. It's very rare that anyone likes a feel-bad ad. Even if there are no leaders asking for shifts, even if you're a one-person shop, an adaptable marketer will identify their own opportunities, and you will probably end up pushing yourself to do a little overtime, so to speak, hopefully on your own time. Resilience in business does yield its rewards. I want you to have rewards, resilience, adaptability, or no. So, what does it take to work in marketing in broad scale terms? Curiosity and testing know-how, care, especially of communication and collaboration and follow-through, and adaptability and resilience. There's so much more